Welcome to a short video which documents experiences in implementing integrated resource management in Gothenburg, Sweden. The video was recorded in 2006 by engineer Stephen Salter, who interviewed Mr. Kai Anderson, a manager of sustainability in Gothenburg. There are several key things to listen for. Firstly, you'll hear that Gothenburg identified challenges and synergies with their existing segregated water, liquid and solid waste management systems. Secondly, you'll hear that integrated planning was driven by a customer-centric model, which implies an integrated business model driving planning and system changes. Lastly, you hear the political decision to make the change was overwhelming, but that leadership was needed for the change to be effective. After the video, we'll review some of the key lessons learned.
At the very first stage, we made an investigation in the late 80s, early 90s, where we could see that there was actually a physical integration between different systems. So that there were a lot of borders between water supply, wastewater treatment and waste handling. There were energy flows, there were material flows and things. That was the first scientific observation. And then we started to consider what are the political effects of this. We can't keep these three parts separated with separate thinking and planning. So the idea that came up, and it came up politically, was to create a planning level over each division to keep the common planning going on. And that's where we started. And we got the officers in the city got the mission late 90s to create a division between the operators and the planners. And it was founded in 98, where we started with this office. And the first 2 years we had only waste responsibility planning and customers responsibility. And from the year 2000 we achieved also the responsibility for water and wastewater planning. And from the same time we also had all the customers with us, which meant that we had to do purchasing, waste treatment and handling. And we also had to make agreements with the operators of the waterworks and things like that, and also finance those agreements, which meant that we could put the long-term planning being a part of the how to develop the daily operations, and we had to look in both parts of it. When we started, there was a vote in our city council. One member voted against, and 80 members voted for this change.
This short clip contains many points, so it's useful to review what was said, partly because Gothenburg's experience has to be adapted to suit each community's own needs. Firstly, it's interesting to note that the initiative to move towards IRM was largely political rather than being driven by staff, triggered by a realization that silos had become harmful and inefficient. They also realized that an integrated business case was needed for planning, and that this became the glue to connect both financial and environmental outcomes. The second point of interest is the role of governance and operations, and the need for a customer-centric approach. This is not limited to instances where utilities are privately run, since Gothenburg has government-run operations. They used a customer-centric model because it helped to drive financial and environmental efficiency, which implies moving away from using a waste model where direction is determined independently of a business case and taxpayer cost as a consequence. The move towards IRM implies restructuring departments, and although not included in this short clip, Mr. Anderson noted that this was challenging for both government and staff, who may be reluctant to change no matter how beneficial this might be. Instead, the IRM business case was used to create both a vision and implementable plan by establishing fiscal and environmental transparency. This created the right conditions for accountable change, resulting in an overwhelming vote on Council. Put simply, IRM's superior accountability drove decisions. We hope you enjoyed this short video, and further information is available from our website www.pivotalirm.com.